Hello students, welcome to the subject of complex variable and partial differential equation. Myself Dr. Ankit Acharya, and today we will discuss about very new concept, very new topic, residue. From last two lecture, if you remember, we discussed about singularities, types of singularities, and we solve so many examples related to types of singularity. So this is our next topic, residue. If you remember that I already told you about that what is your residue if you can express any function f of z in Laurent series. The coefficient of 1 upon z minus z0, that is exactly the residue of f of z at point z0. So this is the first definition that we will discuss about. So theory of residues, right? First of all, try to understand the definition. If a complex function f of z has a pole at the point z is equal to z0, then the coefficient b1 of the term 1 upon z minus z0, okay, of the term 1 upon z minus z0 in Laurent series expansion, okay, in Laurent series expansion of f of z at z is equal to z0 is called the residue of f of z at the point z is equal to z0, and that's why it is denoted by b1, residue of f of z at point z is equal to z0 we define with this manner, okay. And from the Laurent series, the coefficient of b1, that is nothing but 2 pi I integration f of z dz, okay. If you remember, in Laurent series, when we first defined our Laurent series, what is my bn? The formula for bn, that is 1 upon 2 pi I integration f of z upon z minus z0 raised to minus n plus 1 dz, okay. Now when we take n is equal to 1 in this equation, so b1, that is equal to 1 upon 2 pi I integration over the contour c f of z dz, because when we take n is equal to 1, this term become z minus z0 raised to minus 1 plus 1. So z minus z0 raised to 0. So denominator become 1. And that's why we can say that residue is nothing but 1 upon 2 pi I integration f of z dz over the contour c. And if you want to find the value of this integration, that is nothing but 2 pi I into b1. Okay, so remember this formula, interesting formula. Now let's solve some example, okay, to understand the concept of residue. So first of all, this is my first example. Determine the residue at each of its pole in the finite z plane f of z. What is my function? Sin z upon z square. Now one thing I want to tell you, that any function f of z, suppose you can easily express in the form of Laurent series, right? So from that series you can easily find out the residue, but every time it's not possible, okay. So to find out residue, there are some another formulas, okay, to find out the residue, and using that residue we can find the value of the integration of f of z. So that topic we will see later on, but just try to understand the concept of residue first of all using this example. So we know that f of z is equal to sin z upon z square. So that's why z is equal to 0 is a pole of order 1, okay. Z clearly, because we know that sin z is analytic function, z square, that is also analytic function. So sin z upon z square, this function is also analytic function. The problem is only where denominator becomes 0, okay. So we know that denominator becomes 0 at point z is equal to 0. So that's why z is equal to 0. Here is a simple pole, right? Now f of z, that is 1 upon z square, z minus, now this is exactly the series of sin z, okay. So z minus z cube by 3 factorial plus z raised to 5 by 5 factorial, this is the series of sin z, and that's why 1 upon z square, suppose we multiply with this bracket, so we get 1 upon z minus z upon 6 plus z cube by 120 and so on. And so the coefficient of 1 upon z, see the coefficient of 1 upon z, right, that is 1 here. So that's why we can easily understand that residue of f of z at point z is equal to 0, that is 1 here. Now If suppose we want to find only residue from any function f of z, because as I told you that every time it's not easy to express any function in a series form. Okay, suppose you can express any function in a series form. So from that series, from that Lorentz series or Taylor series, you can easily find out the residue, because residue is nothing but the coefficient of 1 upon z minus z0, right? But every time it's not possible to express any function in a series form. So for that, for those type of function, suppose we want to find only residue, and using residue, suppose you want to find the value of the integration over the contour C of f of z, then we have to apply this two important formula. First of all, just we discuss residue at simple pole. As you all know that residue at simple pole means order 1. That means z is equal to z0. Suppose z is equal to z0 is my pole, right? Is my pole, or sometimes we call it singular points. Then suppose z0 have a order 1, then we called it simple pole. Now suppose z0 is a simple pole. For that, what is the procedure that we have to follow to find out the residue? Okay, so first of all, there are two formula. Okay, residue of f of z at z is equal to z0, that is equal to z tends to z0 limit z minus z0 into f of z. Again, try to understand this first formula, residue of f of z at point z is equal to z0, that is nothing but limit of z tends to z0 for the function z minus z0 into f of z. Okay, so this is the first formula that you can apply. Suppose your f of z is this type of function, p of z upon q of z as a simple pole at z is equal to z0, and p of z0, that means the value of numerator at point z0 that is not equal to 0, then residue is given by residue of f of z, that is at point z is equal to z0, that is nothing but p of z0 divided by q dash z0. That means you have to differentiate this function q of z with respect to z, so you will get q dash z, and in that q dash z you have to put q dash z0. Okay, you have to put z0, so you will get the value of q dash z0. Now if q of z0 that is equal to 0, because from this function it's quite tricky to understand that your z0 is a simple pole or not. So for that you have to follow this method. That means if q of z0 that is equal to 0 and q dash z0 not equal to 0, then we can say that z is equal to 0. Z0 is a simple pole. Okay, that means denominator is 0 at point z is equal to z0, but the differentiation is not equal to 0 of that function at point z is equal to z0, then we can say that z0 is a simple pole, and after that you can easily apply this formula number 2. Okay, this formula number 2. So we can use either of above two formula. So first of all, we discuss example for simple pole. Let's see. Suppose this is my example. Find the residue of tan z. What is my function? Function is tan z. At point z is equal to pi by 2. That means singular point is already given. Okay, pole is already given, pi by 2. Now, first of all, you have to find out the order of this pole. Okay, and that is 1. How? Because tan z is nothing but we can express sin z upon cos z, and we know that cos pi by 2, that means denominator becomes 0 at pi by 2. So clearly pi by 2 is a pole. Now see, if q of z0 is equal to 0 and q dash z0 not equal to 0, then we can say that z is equal to z0 is a simple pole. So similar situation happen here. What is my q of z? Q of z that is equal to cos z. Okay, and what is my q dash z? Q dash z, that means differentiation of cos z, that is minus sin z. And we know that at point pi by 2, q of z becomes 0, but q dash z is not equal to 0. Okay, we know that sin pi by 2 is 1, so this value is minus 1 at point pi by 2. So clearly z is equal to pi by 2 is a now simple pole. Okay, and now you can apply any one of the formula, but I think the second formula it's quite easy to understand, so that's why To find out residue, okay, residue of f of z at point z is equal to pi by 2, that is nothing but q of z upon q dash z at z is equal to pi by 2. So sin z upon minus sin z, okay, this is the differentiation of q of z, okay, that is z is equal to pi by 2, and that's why sin pi by 2 upon minus sin pi by 2, that is equal to 1 upon minus 1. So the final answer is minus 1, okay, clear? Now the second method, suppose if you want to find residue with the first formula, with the formula number 1, okay, so up to this common z is equal to pi by 2 is a simple pole, that is quite easy to understand. Now residue of z is equal to pi by 2 at f of z, that is nothing but z tends to pi by 2, limit z minus pi by 2 into f of z, okay, because what is the formula, z tends to z0, limit z minus z0 into f of z. Okay, what is my z0? Instead of z0, I have to put pi by 2 here. Okay, clear? Right? And instead of f of z, what is my function? Function is tan z. So I write here tan z. Now tan z can be written as 1 upon cot z. So this z tends to pi by 2 limit z minus pi by 2 upon cot z, that can be written as 0 by 0 form. Okay, and that's why we can use L'Hospital rule. So that's why differentiation of z minus pi by 2, that is 1, differentiation of cot z, that is minus cosec square z, and now take pi by 2 instead of z, so you will get minus 1, because this is minus cosec square pi by 2, and we know that cosec pi by 2, that is 1. So the final answer is minus 1. Okay, so in both the case you can easily apply and you can easily find out the residue for both the function. Now next is a residue at pole of order n. Suppose you want to find out residue at pole of order m. That means now m is greater than 1. Clearly, okay. So for that you have to apply this formula, residue of f of z at point z is equal to z0. That is nothing but 1 upon m minus 1 factorial. Okay, 1 upon m minus 1 factorial, limit z tends to z0. Differentiation of this function z minus z0 raised to m into f of z. Okay, how many times? M minus 1th time, right? That means suppose m is equal to 2. Suppose m is equal to 2, that means the residue of f of z at point z is equal to z0. So that is equal to 1 upon 1 factorial z tends to z0, limit d by dz z minus z0 into f of z, right? Clear? Because z minus z0 square into f of z. Suppose m is equal to 3. Suppose m is equal to 3, then residue of f of z at point z is equal to z0. Here now we have 2 factorial. Instead of here d square by dz square, z minus z0 raised to 3. Okay, so in that case you have to differentiate this function 2 times. Okay, so let's solve one example. Determine the residue at each of its pole for f of z, that is equal to z upon z minus 1 into z minus 2 whole square. So first of all, what are the poles? At point denominator becomes 0. Those points are, we can say that singular points, or sometimes we call it pole. So z is equal to 1s. Clearly 1 and 2 are pole, okay, because at point 1 and 2 your denominator becomes 0. Now first of all, z minus 1, here z minus 1, this factor occur only one time. So that's why we can say that z is equal to 1 is a simple pole with order 1. Here z minus 2 whole square. So that means z is equal to 2 is a pole of order 2. And we want to find out residue at point 1 and 2 both. First of all, we find residue of f of z at point z is equal to 1. So that is z tends to 1, limit z minus 1 into f of z. So limit z tends to 1, z minus 1 as it is. Instead of f of z, what is my function? Function is nothing but z upon z minus 1, z minus 2 whole square. Now finally z minus 1 cancel out, and now take z is equal to 1 here. So you will get 1 upon 1 minus 2 whole square. So the final answer is 1. Okay. Now similarly, suppose we want to find residue of f of z at point z is equal to 2. So 1 upon 2 minus 1 factorial, the formula is 1 upon m minus 1 factorial, and we know that 2 is a pole of order 2 with 2. So 1 upon 2 minus 1 factorial, that is 1 factorial, z tends to 2, limit d by dz, z minus 2 whole square, f of z. Okay. Now z minus 2 whole square as it is, instead of f of z, what is my function? Z upon z minus 1 into z minus 2 whole square. So this z minus 2 whole square cancel out. So now we have z upon z minus 1, and now you can easily differentiate this function with respect to z using division rule. So z minus 1 whole square, z minus 1 as it is. Now differentiation of z, that is 1, minus z as it is, differentiation of z minus 1, so that is 1. So the final answer is minus 1 upon z minus 1 whole square, and that's why the residue of f of z at point z is equal to 2, that is nothing but minus 1. Okay, so that means using this formula you can easily find out the residue of f of z at order m. Suppose your order m greater than 1, then suppose if you want to find out the residue of f of z where z0 is a simple pole, then you can apply this two formula. Okay, so in today's lecture just we discuss about what is residue, how we can find the residue if f of z can easily express in a Lorentz series, and suppose f of z cannot express in Lorentz series, then how we can find residue using this formula. So thank you.